Hey everyone, welcome to Bug Smashers. I'm your host, Mark Abott. Let's get smashing. Bug Smashers! Hey everyone, we are here at my fancy dancy test level, and we have a fun item port crash when things get destroyed. It's kind of weird to replicate it, however we have a nice little user example right here. Some designers were setting up the 600i, and they accidentally left in these anim objects inside of the object container. They're not real people, they're just fake geometry. The inside of the ship is of course a object container, which means we load in the outer shell of the vehicle, and then we have this object container which is like a mini level that we load inside of it. And that's all this fancy stuff that you see in here. And what's cool is it allows you to have a ship and work on it and do all sorts of cool setups, and then we stream it in. It's pretty nifty. Now when we're in the editor, the fun little editor that we're in, we have the option to go into this thing called game mode, which is hit Control G, we go in game mode, and we play the game as if it were real, and if I hit escape, I go back into editing mode. And unfortunately, when I go into game mode, I am going to crash. Woo! And I'm crashing on one of those anim objects. We could go right here. So we're deleting, let's see what anim object we're deleting. We're deleting an anim object, that's the class. Somewhere he has a name, there it goes, anim object 003. So when this guy gets deleted, so we have the vehicle, we're going in game, we're removing the inside and bringing in a new one because during gameplay and editing things might change and we need to refresh the state. And when we start deleting all the stuff inside of it, the anim object little guy is crashing, trying to delete its item ports. That's all the gear that you see on top of them. What's weird about this is, where are you? So the item ports container, here we are. We're in the deconstructor of the item port container. So this means when this object is getting deleted, this is the very last thing that gets called before the memory gets wiped. And it has a list of item ports. As you can see, it's kind of destroying them right here. And unfortunately, when it destroys them at this point, any listeners listening for them is going to start accessing those item ports and item port containers. However, it's in the deconstructor, so when you access that stuff, things go wonky and you end up, well, crashing. So what we have installed earlier is somewhere in the events. I like scrolling, so I'm going to scroll. Where are you, events? There we are. We have this event, so when we mark the entity for delete, we could do some actual nice cleanup. Then we could delete the entity sometime later. So we're going to try to find out why this isn't working, and instead it's cleaning up the entities in the deconstructor. So let me pause it. And using that entity name, we're going to add some code everywhere to do some debug breaks to track down what in the world's happening. So let me write these guys down. Compare this guy's name. And this is not production code, this is pure debug code to track down the order of all the shenanigans. So I'm going to add a debug break anytime we get an anim object 3 and we're removing the item ports. And then we're also going to do it anytime we add item ports. And hopefully we could track down the sequence of events. And we'll add one in the, well, we can't add one there because the name doesn't exist. But we could add one right before it gets deleted. And done. Shazam. So let's code all things. All right, so I'm back in the editor and put some debug breaks everywhere. Let's hop back in the game and see what's happening. So first thing we get is when we go into game mode, we are getting the right call. We're deleting this thing. So the vehicle is getting rid of the object container, deleting all the entities inside of it. So the interior is going away. And our anim object is getting rid of all of its item ports in the correct sequence, which means if it deletes it here and it gets it somewhere else, something must be adding them at another time. And of course, there it is. So we deleted them all because our entity is getting deleted. However, some fun editor code seems to be messing with us. Let's see what's happening now. Oh, nope, not yet. This is the new one coming in. All right, continue on. New one is, actually, what is this guy? Ah, we're sending events to everyone. So what's happening is we deleted our entity, getting rid of his item ports. Switching in and out of game mode causes a system-wide event to reset. And when this entity gets told to reset, he basically fixes himself back up, adds all the item ports again because fun Lua, and then gets deleted the next frame because we're now gonna get, now and done, we have item ports, and then we end up crashing because we have item ports and deleting in the destructor. So yeah, fun times. Delete the entity, get rid of the item ports at the right event, get a system-wide event saying, hey, reset, because we're in the editor going in and out of game mode, add all the item ports back, only to get destroyed again and cause mayhem. So what we want to do is in our system-wide event, technically we only care about resetting all the events that are hand placed in the level and not dynamically spawned. So if we hand place a vehicle, it needs to reset. But the object container that it creates doesn't need to get reset because the vehicle handles that. So the easy, fun little fix is, if we're removing this entity, just don't broadcast this specific event system to all the entities. Now let's code up again and see how that works out. All right, we're back in the scene. Brought down my 600i. That's two 300s. Gonna hop into the game, and we're deleting the old object container, getting rid of all the entities, getting rid of our random object. It's getting rid of all its item ports. And then this is the new guy getting created. Hello, new guy. Here's our old one. Give me my mouse. There's my mouse. Let's double check the memory. We have no item ports. Sweet. Continue on, and I'm in the game. And of course, my 600i just falls down because I had it in the gravity volume. And yeah, I think that sets the mood. Until next time, hope you guys enjoyed. So as you guys saw, we had a fun little crash where unfortunately we had some back-end legacy code that was trying to refresh the entity state, and it caused all sorts of havoc. So when you dropped in and out of the editing mode, it just exploded and crashed everywhere. Well, we hooked up the code so it would only make those modifications if it was an entity that was placed down inside the level and not one that was dynamically spawned. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.